In the heart of Europe lies a city with a history as tumultuous as it is inspiring. Berlin, a city that has risen from the ashes, rebuilt itself, and torn down walls that once divided its people. As we zoom in on the map of Germany, we find ourselves moving toward the very epicenter of the Cold War's most visible scar, a scar that once split a nation in two. This is the Berlin Wall, a barrier that for nearly 3 decades stood as a stark symbol of division, not just of a city, but of a world. A wall that separated families, friends, and ideologies, a line that divided freedom from oppression.
It grows higher and stronger, the more determined grows the will of those in the east to escape. Along the border, East Berliners are forced to evacuate their homes as the communist police move to prevent their escape.
Berlin, a city once united where the streets echoed with life and laughter. But in the aftermath of World War II, Germany was split between East and West, divided by political ideologies that tore a nation apart. The Allied forces took control of the West, while the Soviet Union held the East. And in 1949, 2 separate states emerged, the Federal Republic of Germany in the West and the German Democratic Republic in the East. Tensions grew, and as the world edged closer to the Cold War's icy grip, Berlin found itself in the crossfire. It was the night of August 12, 1961, when East German soldiers began rolling out barbed wire, transforming the heart of Berlin overnight. By morning, a wall of concrete began to rise, and with it, the lives of countless families were torn apart. Imagine waking up to find a barrier cutting through your city, separating husbands from wives, parents from children, friends who would no longer meet for coffee in their favorite cafe. The wall snaked across neighborhoods, through roads and train tracks, and even severed cemetery grounds. For those in the East, life was dictated by the regime's iron fist. The promise of a better future was a distant dream, hidden behind that cold grey concrete. And as the years passed, the wall only grew higher, the border guards more vigilant, the escape attempts more desperate. Over the years, thousands tried to flee East Berlin, risking everything for a chance at freedom. Some dug tunnels deep beneath the earth, others floated on makeshift rafts, braving the freezing waters. Many ran across open fields, and some did not make it. The wall did not just divide a city, it divided hearts, hopes, and futures. But through all the fear and suppression, a quiet resistance brewed, and it would not be silenced forever. By the late 1980s, cracks began to appear, not just in the wall, but in the very foundation of East Germany's regime. The winds of change blew across Eastern Europe, and whispers of reform could no longer be contained. November 9, 1989. It was a day that no one could have predicted. A slip of the tongue at a press conference, a new travel policy miscommunicated, and the gates were opened. East Berliners flooded into the West, first by the hundreds, then by the thousands. Tears flowed, hammers swung, and the wall came down piece by piece, not as a sign of defeat, but of victory. A victory for humanity, for freedom, and for the spirit of unity. The Berlin Wall had fallen. It was not just concrete that crumbled that night, but the barriers in people's hearts. And as Berliners danced on the ruins of their divided past, the world watched and cried with them. For after nearly 30 years, the wall was no more. The celebration echoed through the streets, a wave of joy and relief that swept over the city. A city once divided, now whole. Berlin, united once more, became a symbol of hope, a testament to the strength of the human spirit. The wall was no more, and the world would never be the same again.